behalf of the Capital City Chamber, any of
He needs the mic.
needs a mic? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we need the mic.
All right. So, beside me here are our chamber board members. It's Frank Williams, who is a founding member of the Capital City Chamber of Commerce. It started in, 1992. It's Pam Ridley of Century Storage. April Granger, you with Northwestern Mutual. And myself, Terrence Henson. So, as chamber members, we ask you guys to continue to support us so that we can continue to support programs such as this, such as the golf team. Each year, we do a golf tournament. And the golf tournament raises money, and the proceeds go to the FAMU golf team. We've been very successful over years. The last 2 years, we have not been able to actually have a tournament because of COVID. But this past year, we received a challenge from Coach Rice to actually raise the bar. So our goal next year is $30,000. So we're going to accept that challenge, Coach. With the assistance of the FAMU boosters, Tommy Mitchell has put us in touch with the go-to guy. That's Ron Tate. I don't know if he's here, but I hear Ron gets it done. So we're going to get it done next year for the golf team. All right? This year, we're going to ask Coach to accept our gift for the golf team, which is in the amount of $4,500. And if you know anything about what Coach is doing, he's doing great things. We're going to give him a chance to speak on some of the great things he's done and some of the great things that he's going to continue to do for the golf team. So thank you. And here you go. And a real check.
So Eddie Jackson finally invited me to one of your meetings. I really appreciate that. It was fried chicken. Unfortunately, I can't say, and he said it was the last meeting, right? So I had to be here, Eddie. So first, I just want to thank all of y'all for what y'all have done to support athletics at FAMU, like you just did. I might need to start, picking up a golf club. Y'all gonna give that kind of money? But anyway, it's really been a great year for FAMU in a lot of ways, athletics included, right? I mean, this SWAC, there was a lot of smack talked about how that was going to go, but you know what? It worked out okay. AD Gaucher, Coach Willie Simmons, and all of that team, they did a wonderful job, right? Getting us through there. And then our women, they won the whole thing, right? Isn't that amazing in volleyball, right? That's just amazing. So as usual, I went to every game, right? From Itabena, Mississippi, to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and everywhere I went, I saw, my good friend Tommy, with a bag of chicken wings. So we made it. We made it everywhere. But I do want to tell you though, as wonderful as the season was, it ended on a bad note, not just because of the game itself, right? But the way the fans behaved at that game was deplorable, right? And so I actually had a conversation with the president of the NCAA on last Friday, and he promised me he was going to do an investigation or review of what happened, because so many of you, right, had lit him up, right, about the nature of that game. And since I was there to see it myself, right, and a couple of you were as well, it's not what we typically see. We get a lot of back and forth, a lot of banter, my orange is oranger than your green and all of that kind of thing when we go out and talk and engage in these contests, but that was a bit different. And so yesterday on the SWAC chancellors and presidents meeting for the fall, or winter, the commissioner was asked to write a letter to the NCAA formally bringing this issue to their attention. And by the way, you know, when I brought it up on the call yesterday, it turns out that other SWAC teams had experienced similar types of treatment at that institution or other institutions in that very state. And so we got a problem out there. We can't let our young men and women who are out there just trying to compete having to deal with things that should have been, you know, part of our history, you know, 50 years ago. But they're back, right? And I'm really worried about that because it doesn't make for, you know, the best of athletic competition. It doesn't bring out the best in anyone. But anyway, so that's going to be taken care of. But I just want to thank all of you because I know all of you collectively and individually strongly support our athletic program. I know that our AD appreciates it, our coaches and the players, student athletes, they appreciate it. You really, really ought to be proud of yourselves for what you've done to support this institution. You know, the fact that it makes it easier, right, when we can talk about being the highest ranked public HBCU in the nation. I mean, that really does help, right? It makes it easy for you to raise money. It makes it easier for me to raise money. But then when our teams are winning, and they are winning, right, that makes it even more, you know, less difficult to generate funds. And so we've had a banner year and fundraising this year, over $13.5 million or so we raised. And we just announced at the board meeting last week that we have exceeded the goal that the board set for me for this year of $12.5 million. We are above, well, $12.3 million, but we're around $12.5 million, and we're just halfway in, right? And so when Rolling Games writes his big check, you know, towards the end of the year, and the rest of you do as well, we're going to get past $13 million again. And by the way, if you didn't know, TJ Rose is going to be our commencement speaker this Friday. Hopefully you'll get a chance to come see that or watch it on video live streamed as well. So I know that. That's why I thought about it because I'm looking right at you. You know, certainly when TJ writes his big check, right, and he writes some big ones, right? I mean, some big checks, you know, we're going to be just fine. So I just want y'all to know that I appreciate you. You know, just don't know how much. I think I see all of you here and there throughout the city at athletic events elsewhere. But please know that you are, you know, cherished members of the FAMU family. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you do. And so, Eddie, thank you so much for your leadership as well. And, you know, when I get back in shape, I'm going to take you on for another 5K, okay. Right? You know, you used to beat me in the old days, but I think I can catch up with you now. Thank you very much.
I understand. I do want to point out, Doc, I'm faster now than I was back then.
That is a priority for me in my job, and I am so grateful to be able to share that with people who understands the assignment. Right? They understand how important it is to share our story with the world, right, and other people, and getting them to recognize that, look, we got some Althea Gibsons, you know, we got some Jay Gaithers here. We have some really great people here that have done some really phenomenal things, and we want to tell that story. So we get the opportunity to do that by way of social media and being able to, you know, keep up with the trends on how to tell the story, because we're just creating. Everybody's just creating, right? We're able to reach people that we've never been able to reach now, with all because of the help and assistance that you all give us every single day by wanting to know, right, and knowing its value. You know, A.D. Gaucher, you know, he put in place this strategic plan that it was an honor to work on, and one of the pillars of it was brand enhancement, right? That's one that particularly I was passionate about, and I knew that it would take an amazing group of people that, again, understands the assignment. They understand how to do it. They take initiative to do it. They don't complain. They have mastered how to do more with less, right? And the reason we now have more is because, again, all of you who consistently help us, you're in our corner to let us know that we're here rooting for you to do it and do it right and get it done. And I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. But before that, what Vaughn was talking about in regards to the rankings, it was basically people are watching our department, right? And they're interacting with our department much more than any other college athletics department in the country in that month in particular, which means we had a lot of people watching, right? They wanted to see what's going on at FAMU. And that's what we want them to see all the time, right? Because, again, there's some great things going on here. We have great people. And, it is just such an honor to be able to engage and interact with you all, because, boy, did I have some experiences this year for homecoming and all that. I was so happy we were able to, we were stripped last year of our season in 2019, and that really hurt a lot of you. And I seen it, I heard it, we read the letters, we got the calls, probably about 3-4 hours of some people just telling us how they felt about it. And it hurt me to not be able to provide that fan experience that year. But was I ready for this year? And I knew I would have some experiences with some really great people that daily you all share these amazing stories with us. And we're tasked with being creative enough to tell them, right? And it's such an honor and privilege, because this story matters, right? This story literally changes lives. Right, it changed everybody's life in here, and I'm just incredibly grateful to be a part of the family. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the people that work tirelessly. I provide a vision, they make it happen. Right, they also have their own visions, and they make their own visions happen. But everybody's vision is aligned with FAMU's. Right, we all do what we need to do to make sure we're telling the story in the right way, and we're just so grateful for people, in this room that understands the value of what it is that needs to be told and how it needs to be told. So these people work tirelessly. They are, I can call them 9 times out of 10, they already know what I'm calling for, if they haven't already did it. But it's a lot of, I'm so grateful for them having the mindset and the desire, the tenacity, the wit, and the courage to do things on their own and trust that it is valuable enough to represent FAMU. Right, that what they bring to the table, they, no matter if it's 2 a.m, 3 a.m, whatever happens, they're always ready, they're lock loaded and ready, they're knowledgeable, and they're passionate about the work. So I'm gonna hand it over to Devin right now. All those great photos that you see all over the entire, all of our socials and everything, it's such a blessing, because this young man is doing it right now. It's him. Yes, ma'am.
Other than your name, give us some information about this.
Absolutely. Well, see, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little scared to tell you where I went to school, because, I didn't quite look. My first day when I got to FAMU in my office, it was a picture sitting on my desk, and it was the aristocratic bands and a marching 100. And I said, "Ooh, FAMU mean business." I was like, who put this picture? To this day, I still have no clue who put that picture on my desk. So that just, I'm just a city boy from Flint, Michigan, born and raised. Believed in myself enough to believe that I deserved a scholarship. Ran track, so I went to track Nashville. I'm sorry? Tennessee State. Yeah, I ran track with the Tennessee State. I got you. Yeah, so I ran my way to Tennessee State, went there, got my pre-law degree, went to law school in Ohio, came back, wanted to find out what I wanted to do with my life, because I thought I wanted to be a forensic scientist, but I got in the lab and saw that everything was boring. I couldn't talk to nobody, and I couldn't interact with you all, so I was like, this ain't it. Matriculated my way there and was able to connect with some great people in Tennessee to get me to Florida. And since I got to Florida, I've been loving it ever since, and I'm just happy to be at the #1 public HBCU in the country. That in itself is a privilege and honor. Yep, so right now I am here serving the Rattler Nation, and it has been a pleasure.
So I actually didn't know that I was going to be speaking today, so y'all bear with me. But my name is Devin P. Grimes. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I came to FAMU strictly to focus on my craft, which is photography. And I knew when I came here that I had an opportunity to reach an entire state that I had never been to or, just didn't know about. So my first goal here when I came, when we created the football account, me and Josh, we wanted the look to be, I wanted to give it a retro feel, like the real, 90s, 80s, the historic feel of FAMU. So what I did was I was out and meeting up with the football team while they were practicing, like, hey, I just want to take photos of y'all just so I can get practice on how to make my images look a certain way. So what I did was went on ahead and take some photos and was in there editing the orange, making sure the orange was the perfect orange, because I know that's big. We got to have the correct orange here, so making sure all of that stuff was in place was my first thing of what I did when I was here. But really and truly, I'm just blessed to be in this position. Vaughn, when I had first started my first trip in Miami, I think I had met Vaughn probably once, or I don't know when I had met Vaughn, but I met Vaughn and he told me, he was like, man, you're doing a great job. Yeah, everything with the pictures and just how y'all are presenting it, it was just a great job. And stuff like that makes me work harder and want to do things differently on a higher level because everybody's watching. Florida A&M is a very historic college. Everybody around the world knows about it. So my job was to make sure that we presented it in a correct way. And from the looks of it, I guess we're doing pretty good because everybody seems happy. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing what we do. I'm excited for next year and getting into all the different sports with track and softball and baseball, and basketball. So now we, on the road with, LeBron James sponsor and stuff like that. So just doing my job and making sure that we present it in a good way. And I, just continue. Yeah, they know Josh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Josh Padilla, Director of Communications and Digital. So I'd say back in February or January, I spoke to Courtney for the first time about this position. And, I'm from Florida. I grew up in the Tampa area, so I always knew about FAMU. I've had friends that went to FAMU that I went to high school with. I had friends that originally went to FIU with me that would end up transferring to FAMU. I've friends that have girlfriends that went to FAMU. So I've known about FAMU my whole life, and I was excited because I knew FAMU was a great fan base, and honestly, we're able to do a great job because the fan base here is so good. I've been at other institutions doing the same job and doing the same exact stuff, and it's not getting the same results, and it's because of the fan base. And really, that's what I'm so excited and happy to be a part of, the great fan base here and the great sports teams. All in all, just a great place to be. So, thank you.
Again, I just want to thank everybody. I knew you had another one. That's why I wanted to get up here. I just want to thank everybody again for having us and giving us this opportunity to speak with you all. I'm grateful for people. We're grateful. Let me just say this. We're grateful for Vaughn. We're truly grateful for Vaughn. Look, when in doubt, call Vaughn. That was the first thing that everybody told me when I first got here is just, if you got any questions about this, and to your point about having just added to your roster of things to do, I'm like, look, if I get in doubt about any of these things to do, I'm gonna call Vaughn, because every time I ask somebody about something different, they still mention him to call about, right? So we're just grateful to have such a resource in him and you all that know so much about this institution that truly help us. And to Josh's point, the fan base is unmatched, right? There's no nation like Rattler Nation, and we're truly grateful to be a part of that. The culture and watching it grow. One thing that we were really focused on this year is rallying up those Rattlers who felt out of touch, right? Who felt like, oh, I need more to do it. It's like, well, we got more, so we want you to have more too, and we want you to be proud of seeing your football team on a championship level, competing, because they deserve it, right? With the help of you all, we've been able to really do some really great things, and because of you all is why we are able to sustain it. So again, thank you so much for having me here. You have something for me?
No, since the media is here, and I know you concentrate on digital,
Yes, ma'am.
but we are kindergarten folks in here. So we don't get as much information as we need in print media, because we do spend our money subscribing to the Tallahassee Democrat. Also, this is basketball season, and we don't get any information. We don't have a schedule for the basketball team. We don't have, posters? Are they making posters anymore?
Yes, ma'am.
We need more information for print and more on basketball.
That's not a problem. We can make it happen. We definitely have the schedule, so we're gonna get that. And I think we probably just need to establish a responsibility to make sure that we make fit to bring those things to to these meetings, to make sure that we because that's not that big of a deal. We can do that. That's not a problem. I want to make sure you all have the information you need to support, like we need you to support, because we need you all.
Yes, also a question about the roster at basketball games. Sometimes I can't pick up. I just want to know who's on the teams. Some of the little programs that are usually
Created with the information. Yep.
names of teams from both.
Absolutely. Yep. We can accommodate that. I know they have some down on the down there. Yeah. So we got to make sure we can get y'all some. Absolutely. I got you. And I think probably, just because of COVID, it shifted a lot of things for us to the digital platform, which we knew would be a challenge, because it's like, okay, we got a large part of our fan base where we need to write this down and do print. So we're very mindful of that. We hear you, and we would definitely adjust and accommodate.
One
Yes, sir.
of the things that I think would help tremendously is that just this information that you gave today about just say God, we need the same thing that the university does as it relates to accolades. I know all the significant things about FAMU is on a sheet of paper, or if it's being publicized. I think it would be great if there was a regular accolade sheet that was brought up today and given to all of the chapters, and also somehow make it be published. One of the things that happened, like for instance, last week when the president had the toy party, I found out about it Friday. I rushed out and bought a bicycle, and it was very fully attended. And as a matter of fact, today is the last day that they're still asking for toys. So, and part of it just has to do with just people knowing. If you want something to be known in Tallahassee, one of the ways is give it to Joe Bullock. If Joe Bullock says it, people are going to know it. And it's really more important that we begin to get things out. And so I would really hope that we could get an accolade sheet that with all the significant standing. I knew about golf, I knew about volleyball, but that's because I've been searching. But I think we have such great success now in all of our teams that we need that needs to be somewhere where people can see.
Absolutely. And something that we're working on now is a year-end review, just basically being able to, indicate all the major accomplishments that we've done. And we got that idea also, too, from the universities. That one was very well done. And we were saying, you know what? We processing all this information. We need to be able to tell people. So that's something that we're definitely working on to be able to disseminate to the entire fan base in more ways than one, as much as possible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As an interim measure, and I do commend you on all the work that you all have done to take it to another level. But
Thank
as
you.
an interim measure, can you set up channels with groups like the 220 Quarterback Club and share information with us? And then a lot of the members of the 220 and the boosters, they have other text groups
they can then further disseminate the information to. I think that's an immediate opportunity you may have, and will possibly get you to a point of getting information out right away.
I think that's a great idea. That's not a problem for us to adjust at all. I think it's a great idea. We can definitely do that. Yes, sir.
You may not be the area, but we've been used to getting each game, the program booklet. Is that your area or somewhere else in athletics, or how does that go?
Yes, sir. I think that's what she mentioned up here was just basically being able to have that reference document in print for like when you come to a game or something like that, to be able to just so you can see who's on the team. That's something that I know you all are used to, that we are mindful of, that we're going to bring back. It was just given the whole, the climate of the country in regards to COVID and everything shifting digitally. We just had to do what we had to do to keep disseminating it as much as possible. So that's definitely something that we are going to bring back. Yep. My man's President Cobb in the back. How you doing? Yo, we love President Cobb. He's very supportive of us. And through his support, we feel all of your support too. So we're just really grateful, again, to have you all rooting behind us, because that's the reason in which we hold the light high and make sure that we are doing what we need to do to represent you all in the best way possible. Thank you all so much again for having us.
And I just want to talk about how hard these people work. November 26th, I was getting ready to go to Hammond, and I called Josh. Josh, where were you on November 26th? Yeah, he was in California. Did the basketball game, got on a plane, and made it back to Louisiana for the game. So this is how hard these people work. But also in reference to the programs, let me be the guy, and I'm glad he didn't even address it. Let me be the person to be frank with this. I took my son for his graduation gift. He loves the Baltimore Ravens, so we went to the Baltimore Ravens game against the Detroit Lions. So we saw that game-winning field goal by Justin Tucker. We saw it live, and we lost our voice for about a week, screaming like little babies. But one thing I noticed when we walked in, there were no game programs. I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens of the NFL, who has more money than the law will allow. What we have to realize is that the industry is going away from printing. When I was at FAMU, it cost $6,300 per game to print those programs. $6,300 per game for the programs. You can't make enough money back by charging enough for those programs. So many athletic departments and many leagues have seen that as an expense they want to circumvent by putting rosters online, by making apps. If you remember a few years ago when Milton Overton developed that app, that was basically to circumvent what we saw coming. So the reason you don't see as many things printed is because that $36,000 could probably almost pay for most of the scholarships on the cross-country team. Just being honest. So when budgets are getting tight, you think invest in the kids or make these printed programs. And I think all of us understand why the programs are disappearing. So I just want to get out a reference. It's not them just not wanting to do it. They're hard decisions to make, and most of them have fiscal ramifications to them. So I just want to bring that amount of perspective that even professional leagues are going away from programs.
But I'm glad you said that. And let me say this. Eddie, I'm going to agree with you that FAMU folks give good money. But what the reality is, unfortunately, alumni across the country give less than 10%. Okay? FAMU's no different. Matter of fact, FAMU is at 7, my understanding. We got 80,000 graduates. That means 5,600 people are giving out of 80,000. We don't give back. And we got to do a better job. At FAMU, We have $80,000, $100 is $8 million a year. We wouldn't have these problems if we did give. I don't mean you guys, you do give. But just know that colleges, period, and FAMU included, we are less than 10%. That gives back. So a lot of stuff we can't do because we don't have the money. And so, you know, please know that, what the problem is, we got to tell our friends, not you guys, we all give. You know, my wife's sick of me giving. You know, so we give, but not enough of our graduates give. And let me, while I got the floor, the group of people who's been working to help the golf team, we have given $1,350 to the golf team. Actually, among the non-revenue producing sports that I was chaired and we got people working, we were at $14,000 now. But for golf, it's $1,300. We got a track team that's doing the track team is doing a great job. Both the girls, the male and female track team has been given $22.67. And let me tell you why that's happening, because we asked it. That's what we got to do. Those of us, among ourselves, if we got to make sure that we get other people to give. Reggie Mitchell knows what he has to do as my son. He had to give. And every time he asks me for something, I give it to him. I said, you do know you're going to have to give it back to some other thing that I'm doing. But that's what we got to do. I'm sorry to get on the
And just in reference to something, and this might be a bad word, social media is a bad word to some of you all who just want nothing to do with it. But Mr. Jackson and I have talked, and we talked about this before, and I think it's got to happen soon. Just like I set up the screen so we can watch things, I'm gonna have to start having seminars of how you all can see all of this stuff you all are missing, because all of these wonderful pictures and these videos that they make, that's where they go. Some go on the website. You can actually see the social media pieces if you go to the website. If you scroll down, it'll show Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, if I'm correct. It'll show them there. So I'm gonna show you all how to navigate so you can see all of this beautiful stuff you all are missing. I mean, those posts and those pictures of those basketball shoes almost had me cursing this morning because I never wanted a pair of shoes that much in my life. They were just beautiful orange and green LeBron shoes with the correct colors, the way that y'all stacked them up there in the gym, everything. So you all are missing that. We have to transition from the programs to watching it on your computer or on your phone, and you can see it all the time. You don't have to wait for a game. I saw the track team up there in Pache with the high jump guy. Is that say it right, Pache? Pache Caldwell won the high jump up at Clemson, right? Up at Clemson. I saw it not long after it happened because I'm on social media. If you're not there, you may never see it. That's the way the world is going. Social media is the new news with Walter Cronkite, where you know you can see everything that happened. That's social media now. It's not waiting till once a week to happen. It's happening all the time. Carrie Meek, I peeked in on her funeral yesterday on my phone. I'm gonna have to watch Dr. Smith on my iPad or on my television at home. Because those things that seem like they used to be on your phone, all these smart TVs y'all got hanging in your room got them apps right on them or access to them. So I'm begging you, open your mind. We're gonna train you how to at least view all of this great content that they're putting out on social media.